Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome back to your latest Chelsea news segment. If you've missed out on the stream earlier on, do check that out where I talk about why potentially Mauricio Pochettino could be in trouble. Rio Ferdinand had a few things to say. If you don't believe Rio Ferdinand as a source, that's fine, but I think you need to understand the situation that is upon us. Look, ladies and gentlemen, since that particular stream, there's been so many bits and pieces that's been dropping, and it's starting to really scare me. It's starting to really scare me now. Today, on this particular news segment, you'll realize why I've been saying what I've been saying in recent times. You'll realize why I'm wanting to probably just stick with Pochettino for the time being and see where it kind of leads us for at least the early parts of next season, because I'm not confident with what our owners and our board they're capable of doing. I'm seriously worried the path they're going to be choosing to go. And you'll see some of the news that I'm going to share with you guys. You let me know. You let me know where you stand at the end of everything that you consume today. So let's kick things off, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea are weighing up whether to sack Mauricio Pochettino. This is coming from Jacob Steinberg. Look, as I've been saying recently, maybe even 48 hours ago, I was confident that do you know what, our board and our owners, they probably like Pochettino, and they're not going to make a hasty decision like previously in the likes of Thomas Tuchel, in the likes of Graham Potter. I think this time around they're actually going to stick by someone, and it doesn't look good on them to continuously sack managers willy-nilly. It's just not in their remit. This is not Roman times. I mean, look, I would have got rid of Mauricio Pochettino a long time ago, but I just felt that these owners, they want to stick around and they want to endure the pain to hopefully see some gain down the track. But in the last 24 to 48 hours, I'm starting to feel that might actually not be the case. There is a serious, I suppose, reasoning now to think that Mauricio Pochettino, two things could happen. Either he'll get sacked or he's going to walk. And the reason why I feel this is Mauricio Pochettino, I don't know what was said to him when he first became Chelsea manager, when all the interview sessions and everything took place. I'm not really sure what was laid out, what was agreed upon. I don't know how much Mauricio Pochettino really understood this project. I don't know how much our owners and our board really understood what Mauricio Pochettino is all about. But at the end of this season, I think both parties have realized who each of them are. And now it's got to a situation, maybe both parties probably don't want to stick with each other, because Pochettino, in my opinion, he wants more power. He does. And who doesn't? Which manager won't? You don't come to Chelsea Football Club and have such demands of getting into Champions League, competing in the Premier League, doing well in Europe, doing all of this based on youth products, based on young players, and you're consistently going to bring in young players and going to promise them that they're going to start at Chelsea Football Club immediately, and at the same time have such high demands from the manager. It's crazy to think that way. So Mauricio Pochettino probably summed it all up and started thinking, do you know what? No, I need it my way. You've brought in a lot of young players, but now I need it my way. I need certain things my way, not to scrap everything that we've done. I think recently Mauricio Pochettino has said he wants to keep 80 to 85% of the team. He only wants to add a few bits and pieces. But our owners and our board, I think they have a different remit. You either submit to their demands or you cannot be Chelsea manager. It's simple as. I think this is why we are seeing this confusion at the moment, where whenever this review, whenever this conversation with Mauricio Pochettino happens from our owners and our board members, one of the key things that they're probably going to talk about is power. What level of power is Mauricio Pochettino going to get? And if Mauricio Pochettino is going to be told that to keep your mouth shut and simply coach, I'm not sure Mauricio Pochettino is going to be accepting that. At the end of the day, Mauricio Pochettino has his reputation on the line as well. And I think I'm now starting to understand why Mauricio Pochettino has recently fought back in media, in the press conference. If you notice the last few press conferences, he's fought back. He started to say things where it might be a little bit against the owners, where he's been saying that it's where we are, it's not good enough. Fifth and sixth, we're not going to be celebrating that. So the players, they find this pressure at Chelsea Football Club a bit too much. He talks a lot about how young this team is, and maybe there needs to be a little bit of a balance in the squad. He has also talked about it's not easy to manage this group of players. There's a lot of egos here. Young kids are not easy to discipline all the time. Having said that, finally, maybe in the last 5 games, it's all slowly starting to click together. And this is why we're hearing some of the players, they probably don't want him to go. So imagine just when Mauricio Pochettino is probably getting a grip of things, our owners are thinking about getting rid of Gallagher. They're thinking about getting rid of Chalobah. They're thinking about bringing in more kids. Surely this would be very difficult for Mauricio Pochettino. Surely this will be very difficult for any manager walking in. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's check out more news in regards to this, because it is a confusing time that we're going through right now. This is coming from the byline. There is smoke and tension. Pochettino wants to be involved in signings. There you go. I honestly believe our owners and our board members, they don't want a manager that wants to be involved in. They don't want a manager that is interested in to getting involved in transfer market. They really don't want that. As I said, you must submit to their demands. And our owners and our board, their demand is, we will run the show, you just coach. Kaput. Keep your mouth shut, know your role, and just coach. We will bring in whoever we want to bring in, and you need to do what we tell you to do. Pretty much a puppet. So we're going to bring in Esteval. We're going to bring in Kendry Paez. We're going to bring in, recently, obviously, Enzo Fernandez has been injured, but we're going to have all of these superstars. You got to get the best out of them by hook or by crook. You're going to have to get the best out of them. And if you don't, and you don't agree with what we are doing, Kalas, see you later. You can move. We'll find someone who accepts this environment. Now, you may ask, why? Why are the owners wanting to do this method? Why do they think they can do this, yet challenge for Champions League, yet challenge in the Premier League? What makes them think, this is what I mean, they're deluded. This is why we've all been talking about the owners all throughout since they've walked in, especially this season, because the focus has been youth. And you'll see the focus is probably going to be youth in terms of manager as well. This is why we've been saying these owners, they need to chill and just understand the game for a little bit. You need to understand you're making some wild moves, which will set back Chelsea even further. We, honestly speaking, we got lucky that we finished 6th this season. We got lucky. It didn't look like we were going to finish 6th literally about a month ago. Now, what we do next is very important. Either it's going to bring us back to 10th, 11th, 12th, or it will propel us to going 4th. But I'll tell you this much. With a youthful manager, with a youthful team, no Premier League teams have been successful. This will be unheard of if this actually works. And why am I saying about a youthful manager? You'll see very, very soon. Right here. Breaking. If Pochettino leaves, Chelsea will go for a young coach. Now, apparently the notion is still that Chelsea want to stick by Pochettino, but obviously terms and conditions have to be agreed. As I said, Poch will have to be a puppet. Now, if Poch can submit to that, then he gets to stay. If Poch can't submit to that, then there you go. Chelsea will go for a young coach. It's loud and clear. Chelsea would not go for an experienced coach coming from Fabrizio Romano. They will not go for an experienced coach. So this is why I've been saying recently, you can sit there and you can throw names, Sarri, Thomas Tuchel, this, that, the other. They don't want experienced coach because they feel experienced coach will talk a lot, will not accept what they're doing. And it's true. We've seen Nagelsmann, as you can see in the comments. So Nagelsmann, who was there to begin with, Nagelsmann walked away from all of this. It was all too mad for him. No experienced manager would want this. I think Jose Mourinho also recently said in a podcast, I think John Obi Mikel podcast, he said, this is not the same Chelsea as he used to know once upon a time under Roman Abramovich. Breaking, Chelsea priority is to continue with Mauricio Pochettino, but if terms can't be agreed, keep an eye on young coaches. Pochettino is waiting for the meeting. So, look, I'm scared, man. I'm scared. This is why I've been saying recently, just keep this guy for the time being. I'm worried what you're going to do. And I'll tell you why I'm worried. Because the young coach, there's probably two contenders. Now, some people say, oh, Miz, but they didn't say young guest. We'll talk about De Zerbi as well. De Zerbi, I believe, is 44. Amorim is 39. And there's another special name. There is another special name, ladies and gentlemen. And it goes by the name of Kieran McKenna. Chelsea are weighing up whether to sack Mauricio Pochettino, have spoken to Kieran McKenna's representatives. This is coming from Jacob Steinberg. I'm telling you right now, you may laugh and you may ridicule this, and some of you guys have mocked about this as well. Miz, this can't be true. This is absolute BS. It's not BS when it comes to our owners. I'm telling you. Kieran McKenna, if Poch walks or he gets sacked, I'm telling you right now, Kieran McKenna will be one of the top contenders. He's 38 years old. They love a particular manager that can punch above their weight. They love that. They love an underdog story. These Americans, they love an underdog story. They will eye Kieran McKenna. I'm telling you, they will eye this Ipswich brother because they've seen that Ipswich, I think they've been promoted from, I don't know whether they've been promoted from League One, but obviously this season we've seen they've been promoted from Championship to the Premier League. They love that. They love that kind of story. We were linked with Vincent Kompany, don't forget, who's now linked with Bayern Munich. He's probably going to land that job. So it's Kieran McKenna. This is why I'm scared. This is why I've been saying recent times, you know what? Put my two hands together. Maybe just keep Poch. Maybe just stick with Poch for the time because I'm scared. He may turn out to be a good manager, Kieran McKenna, but to go from getting promotion from with Ipswich to the Premier League, to go from that to straight to Chelsea job, oh my days. But I get why they want him. Because he's probably going to be one of those puppet type of a manager. And he'll want to work with young players. We have a certain way of progressing the team now. And it's not for every manager out there. Chelsea Chiefs are understood to have been impressed by Kieran McKenna's approach. He has led Ipswich to successive promotions from League One to the Premier League. So Ipswich has gone from League One to the Premier League. They love that. They absolutely love this brother. I'm telling you, they love this guy. They do. It all now comes down to whether Poch submits to the owner's demands. And that's how it's going to have to be. You must. If you're going to be a Chelsea manager, you must submit to the owners and the board's demands. This is why there is some news in regards to Thomas Tuchel. We're going to get to that as well. Florian Plettenberg has been talking about it. We're going to look into that. Thomas Tuchel apparently is interested as well to come back to the Premier League, and two teams that are vying for him are Chelsea and Man United. Well, two teams he's eyeing out. I don't think Thomas Tuchel is going to happen at Chelsea Football Club. As simple as that. Our owners got rid of Thomas Tuchel because Thomas Tuchel can't submit to the owner's demands. So what makes us think that all of a sudden this is all going to change now and Thomas Tuchel is going to change his personality? It's not going to happen. Ruben Amorim and Kieran McKenna are both waiting in the wings in case Chelsea opt to make a managerial change this week. Chelsea are thought to have sounded out representative of both Amorim and McKenna in recent weeks. Amorim is probably these are two legit candidates. McKenna is 38, Amorim is 39. We are looking for not just youth players, we are looking for youth managers as well. Potentials. Managers that are going to boom and become the next big thing. We're in the business of doing that as well. We're not just in the business of making the next best player, the next gem into a superstar. We're also in the business of gambling on managers to become the next big talk of town. Do you understand how crazy it is? And we're doing the same thing with the directors. Our owners have said, we're not wanting to go for the best directors right now. We are looking to build the best directors for the future. Everything is all about potentials in the future. Look at the way we're moving with the players. Everything is for the future. We have no idea what we're going to do right now, but everything is for the future. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I've never seen this work at any football, like top club. I've never seen this work at a top club who have been able to compete at the highest level and win major stuff. I've never seen this happen. So let's see if this actually happens or not. I don't think Chelsea would go for him. They've been heavily linked with him, David Ornstein, on NBC Sports Soccer, on Roberto De Zerbi's next potential move. Some people talking about perhaps it's Roberto De Zerbi. Look, I've got no issues if it is Roberto De Zerbi. I rate him. I rate him a lot. I'm not really sure it's going to happen, man. Apparently, we're not talking to him. And there's rumors of him potentially going to AC Milan. And that, for me, makes far more sense. Roberto De Zerbi is also another manager. I don't think he's going to appreciate all these kids. He needs some level of experience. I think this was one of the issues in Brighton because our model resembles Brighton model. We have a model that is completely resembling of the Brighton model. We're just a bigger club at a bigger level. We are doing this. What Brighton's doing it, we're doing at a bigger level. Brighton's linked with Kieran McKenna as well, by the way. Brighton's linked with Kieran McKenna. Roberto De Zerbi, I don't think he would appreciate the environment that we have at Chelsea Football Club. Like, he will demand that he gets a little bit of, he'll demand that he'll get a bit more experience. Now, let's have a look at a little bit more managerial news. As I said, in regards to Thomas Tuchel, I just want to quickly bring that up. 3 hours ago, as just mentioned live in our transfer update show, FC Bayern is now focusing on a small group of candidates from Premier League. Vincent Kompany is one of the reported in our show. He is now on the list, so Vincent Kompany to Bayern Munich probably is going to happen. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Thomas Tuchel, which Florian Plettenberg tweeted out. Let me see if I can bring this up. Here we go. Exclusive news, Tuchel. He has made the decision to either take a break in the summer or move to the Premier League. As revealed, as of the end of the season, he's only released. The contract runs until June 30th, 2025. So he's going to get paid even if he doesn't go to a new job. He's going to get paid till June 30th, 2025 because his contract is still there with Bayern Munich. Obviously, they're just parting ways, but he can always come as a free agent. Bayern receives no transfer fee at no time. This was assured to him February. There are two possible and concrete destinations for Tuchel, Man United or Chelsea. Loose talks have started. So look, Chelsea, I would take Thomas Tuchel in a heartbeat. I really would. The way we connected with Thomas Tuchel, the way he's got that tactical knowledge, it would be fantastic with our team. But once again, he got sacked for the same reasons our owners are probably going to be moving away from Pochettino. We'll see what happens. He got sacked because he did not want to submit to the owners and the boards. At that time, owners, he did not want to submit to the owners' demands. Collaboration. Just willy-nilly take whoever. They wanted him to be more involved in the transfers, this, that, the other, give them, call them 3-4 times a day, because at that time, obviously, the owners didn't have a board ready. So they needed Thomas Tuchel to focus and give them a lot more time. And Thomas Tuchel just didn't want to do that. He wanted to focus on the team. So they got rid of Thomas Tuchel because he didn't want to collab. He didn't want to do any collaboration. Would they reconsider Thomas Tuchel now? I don't know. I don't think so. Would Thomas Tuchel want to collaborate? Thomas Tuchel, I can imagine him not wanting any power in terms of transfer window. I don't think Thomas Tuchel is that type of a manager. I think he'll be more than happy to simply manage. But I don't think he's also going to be happy with just a plethora of kids. I think he'd want some level of experienced players to compete. It's very difficult to compete with kids. So, and I don't know if Thomas Tuchel will be a puppet. It's simple as. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about the managerial situation. It looks like maybe Poch either walks or he's going to get sacked. And if he stays, I think he will have to submit to the demands. I don't think he'll have any say. Gallagher will go, Chalobah will go, all of these players will go, and Pochettino will have to suck it up. And Pochettino will have to do good with what is given to him. And I'm not really sure whether that's all going to work out. And then we're linked with Kieran McKenna. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to the managerial situation. Now we're going to focus a little bit on the transfer market. Breaking Chelsea value Chalobah at around 25 million, which is a joke. Chalobah at 25 million. Look, I'm not even going to sit here and big up Chalobah like he's some Maldini level of defender. No, Chalobah is a good defender. I've always said he's a very, very good defender. But he's not even the finished product yet. But let me tell you something. For me, he's far better than Buddy Shield and Desasi right now. Unless I'm proven wrong down the track with Buddy Shield becoming a far superior defender and Desasi becoming a far superior defender. This season, from the little bits and pieces Chalobah has played, because he's been injured, and I know Buddy Shield has been injured as well, but those two guys, Buddy Shield and Desasi, they've been littered with mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Chalobah at least has some level of competency. And for this guy to be 25 million is a joke. Chalobah is a very decent Premier League defender. At a bare minimum, he should be 40 million. 40 million at a bare minimum. And I think he's got a long-term contract at Chelsea as well. His contract is not something that's running out in the next 1 year or 2 years. I think he's got a long-term contract. 40 million should be the bare minimum. 25 million is a slap in the face. Borussia Dortmund is preparing an offer for Martin. The price is 21.3 million. Martin has 35 million release clause coming from Patrick Berger, who's also very, very big when it comes to German news. Look, if it's not 35 million, I want this guy to come back. Dortmund, I understand you're interested. Martin, I understand you're interested. You don't want to probably come back to Chelsea. I get that. I understand that. Chelsea's, done you wrongly, right? But I don't think we should let go of Ian Martin for 21.3 million. There's a reason why we've extended Martin's contract for a little bit and, imposed that release clause so that this situation happens where Martin does extremely well at Dortmund, who's, he's going to play in the Champions League final, and that we're going to hopefully clean up on him. We're not going to give him a discount. This is ridiculous. Martin's a player that we could potentially use at Chelsea Football Club. We're looking for a left back. Martin should be straight away looked at. He's our player, for God's sakes. If it's not 35 million, forget it. He can come back. I will be so disappointed if we don't get the full amount, 35 million. And 35 million is cheap for Martin. Martin, honestly, in this market, Martin, genuinely, he's probably going to be worth around 60 million. He's going to be playing in the Champions League final. Martin is going to be playing in the Champions League final. He's one of the most important players at Dortmund. Martin's shown immense quality. He's linked with Bayern Munich. This guy's 35 million is a bargain. There are other fullbacks that are going for 60, 65 million, willy-nilly. And Martin, who's becoming a bit of a superstar. He's 35 million and Dortmund can't even do that. No, that's a joke. That's a joke because 35 million is probably a huge bargain. Huge bargain. Chelsea players are in the dark over whether Pochettino will continue next season, but Georgia Petrovic says that the squad is behind him. Yet another player, Petrovic, talking about Pochettino and saying that they're fighting for the manager. Petrovic on Poch. For me personally, I really believe him and whole coaching staff because they believed in me and gave me the chance. They supported me a lot and they have a relationship with the players where everyone is important. There you go. Further goes on to say Chelsea's players have not hid their admiration for Mauricio Pochettino after the season's end, but are in the dark over whether he will remain their manager. Georgia Petrovic have spoken highly on Pochettino's management. And that's, as I said, yet another player that is talking very highly of the manager. And we now honestly need to, because the future is crazy. I'm worried about the future. The future is crazy. And now I'm sort of thinking, just keep Poch for the timing. Don't make any crazy decision. If you can't get the right manager, which it seems like you cannot, don't do anything crazy. I just wanted to see if there's anything latest. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about how you felt about everything we spoke about. It's going to be crazy times. It's going to be crazy times. Brace yourself. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.